pushcart peddler. He sold towels and tablecloths without much luck. He switched to notebooks, then bananas, then socks and stockings. Was there really a future in pushcarts? Regina gave birth to a second child, a daughter, and Louis's urgency grew. He now had 4 mouths to feed. The answer came to him after 5 long days of walking up and down the streets of the Lower East Side, just as he was about to give up hope. He was sitting on an overturned box, eating a late lunch in the Polish town of Brzeżko, when the opportunity came to work in Schnittwarenhandlung, literally the handling of cloth and fabrics, or piece goods as they were known. He jumped at it. In those days, the piece goods man was clothier to the world, he writes. And of the 3 fundamentals required for life in that simple society, food and shelter were humble. Clothing was the aristocrat. Practitioners of the clothing art, dealers in wonderful cloths from every corner of Europe, statters back in Poland. There, Borgenicht asked for a salesman who spoke German, since his English was almost non-existent. He had in his hand his and Regina's life savings, $125. And with that money, he bought enough cloth to make 10 dozen aprons. Day and night, he and Regina cut and sewed. He sold all 10 dozen in 2 days. Back he went to Claflin for another round. They sold those too. Before long, he and Regina hired another immigrant. Borgenicht realized that his only chance to undercut bigger firms was to convince the wholesalers to sell cloth to him directly, cutting out the middlemen. He went to see a Mr. Bingham at Lawrence & Company, a tall, gaunt, white-bearded Yankee with steel blue eyes. There the two of them were, the immigrant from rural Poland, his eyes ringed with fatigue, facing off in his halting English against the imperious Yankee. Borgenicht said he wanted to buy 40 cases of cashmere 7 days a week. They jumped at the chance. Hard work is a prison sentence only if it does not have meaning. Once it does, it becomes the kind of thing that makes you grab your wife around the waist and dance a jig. The most important consequence of the miracle of the garment industry, though, was what happened to the children growing up in those homes where meaningful work was practiced. Can you imagine what it must have been like to watch the meteoric rise of Regina and Louis Borgenicht through the eye of Louis Borgenicht? One flight up from Flom's corner office at Skadden is the office of Barry Garfinkel, who has been at Skadden nearly as long as Flom, and for many years headed the firm's litigation department. What did Garfinkel's mother do? She was a milliner. She made hats at home. What did 2 of Louis and Regina Borgenicht's sons do? They went to law school, and no less than 9 of their grandchildren ended up as doctors and lawyers as well. The most